about before.
Oh, which one? George Bush Sr.? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Bill Clinton and this guy you got
Obama.
got rid of. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy you just got rid of. He's referring to Barack Obama. And that should tell you his mindset of where he leans politically. Before I even play the next line, it's really not going to surprise you.
They all were.
Right.
Okay? So, and they all have this ability to make themselves look like real good-looking people.
And you're saying Trump isn't one?
No, he's not.
Of course he's not.
Well,
Okay?
that's a relief.
And and he knows more about this subject than people realize.
I don't want to get into a political discourse here, but this is your prototypical, and I could say it for both sides, so don't get angry at what I'm about to say, but your prototypical MAGA follower who will bleed anything and everything that MAGA says. And don't get angry at me because I feel the same way about the deep blue liberal believers too. Same exact thing. Doesn't matter what you're told. You can't have discourse anymore. But I am not surprised. It's obvious this guy is maybe not extreme right wing, but at the time of making this video, which was during Trump's first term, he was clearly a fan of Donald Trump.
Excellent.
But trying to get back to your earlier question, these groups of extraterrestrial who work together but are at war with other extraterrestrials, okay, have these vehicles that look like a planet.
Right.
Like our moon is a vehicle. It's a...
Now, I've been wanting to make a video about people saying that the moon isn't a celestial body, but in fact it's a spaceship or a space station, kind of like the Death Star. But I just haven't quite found the right one that I wanted to stitch quite yet. But keep that in the back of your mind for a future episode.
Command center for this arm. Easiest way to look at this is to put your arm out like this, and you be the center of the galaxy.
So the video actually went on for another 10 or 15 minutes, and he goes off on many crazy little tangents. But there's your mindset of people that believe that the reptilians actually operate our planet. And according to that gentleman, their base is on the moon, and they're 10 to 15 feet tall. So before I get into more stuff, we have one more video to take a look at. Now, as far as the reptilians go, it hasn't or doesn't stop at the fact that they are putting their starseeds, their children, their next generation in with our population. It doesn't stop with the fact that the reptilians are shapeshifters that have taken over every corner of government around the world and in the most powerful positions throughout the world. No, it doesn't stop there. There is another fold to alleged reptilians. Matter of fact, this next gentleman claims that, well, just let him tell you.
No, everybody on the earth is from someplace else. None of us were born and hatched here. None of us as souls were created here. We all come from another time and place.
So we're all aliens. And I've heard that theory a lot before, that we have been seeded here. And I actually, back in my dumber years, believed the fact that possibly, I suppose there's still a chance, because we honestly, other than evolving, we don't really know, unless you're somebody that is a believer in God. We don't really know how we got here, other than we evolved from primordial ooze. And maybe that's what we did. It's probably what we did do. But who's to say somebody didn't swing by on a ship billions of years ago and drop a little DNA into that ooze, and that's what we became? It's just a food for thought.
My understanding is that all of the conscious spirit that's in this universe came through different black holes from other universes in time and space, which
That's an interesting way to put it. We all came through black holes. So interesting.
we simply aren't privy to. So we're ancient. There's no age to us. We weren't created with the universe. We came through another universe, through the black holes, to this place that we now call our universe, to continue to evolve.
I mean, that's just one way of putting that we evolve, which clearly we do. We have enough scientific proof that we have evolved from that aforementioned primordial ooze. But that's a different twist on any explanation that I have ever heard. My thing about that, and you could say this for all three people in the videos that we watched, is where is your proof? You're telling us a interesting story. You are forming a fascinating yarn, but you're just giving us a story without any verifiable proof. There really is no reason for us to believe what you're saying is true. But they say it with such conviction. So clearly, you either made the story up, or you have access to the proof and the evidence to prove to us that either the last gentleman, we came through a black hole onto this planet, or we are reptilians, or starseeds for that matter, or that reptilians operate and rule our planet. You talk like you have all the answers, but when you have answers, sometimes you have to show your work. And what I mean by showing your work is you have to be able to give some verifiable evidence. Where you came up with these conclusions. How did you come up with these conclusions? It's kind of like writing a story in journalism. I mean, you can't really say journalism now because it's so different from what it used to be. You used to have 3 sources when you were doing journalism. It's kind of like the scientific method in science. You have a hypothesis, you have to test the hypothesis. When you prove the hypothesis, you have to be able to repeat the hypothesis before it becomes a scientific fact. And that's what a lot of these people with these conspiracies that twist a fascinating yarn, they don't have any proof behind their assertions. And I had a person recently that listened to an episode I did 4 years ago now about the documentary Above Majestic. And he absolutely, I got a big long reply, 3 of them, as a matter of fact. One wasn't enough. But I got these replies that I was just going on there to debunk. I didn't go into it believing it at all. Well, no, I didn't go into it believing. I went into watching it because I was interested in watching it. But everything I watched in the documentary Above Majestic was just pure and utter nonsense. There's no basis in fact. But I didn't reply to the person because they can have their opinion just like I can have mine. But that person was clearly somebody that just wants to believe, so they do. I am not that type of person. You all know from watching and listening to these podcasts over the past 10 years that I'm interested specifically within the ufology field. I had a sighting when I was a teenager that I can't explain, but I'm not ready to say that everything we see is an alien spacecraft. Do I think some of them are? Absolutely, I do. But I don't think they all are. Matter of fact, in this modern day of everybody has movie making software literally in the palm of their hands where their cell phone can make a fake video. And then with AI today, it's even easier to make a fake video. And all you need to go do is go on TikTok and type in UFOs or aliens, and you will see scads of videos on there which are clearly AI generated and or CGI generated. So it makes it a lot harder. And I'm slowly working on doing an episode on actual UFO sightings that aren't so modern, long before the days of CGI and AI. But the bottom line is with the whole reptilian thing, as I said when I did the types of aliens episode a few years ago, do we really know if reptilians are here? I suppose if alien abduction is real, then those people do. But for the rest of us, no, we really don't. And I made the statement on that podcast. I'm going to repeat it here as sort of a closer because it seemed kind of convenient that the whole reptilian thing started somewhere around the mid to later 1970s. And it just seemed very convenient that it sort of coincided with an episode of Doctor Who called Doctor Who and the Silurians. And the Silurians, of course, are reptile like creatures that once inhabited this planet and now are live underground. And if you watch that or you know what I'm talking about, you know that these reptilian aliens look pretty closely to what the Silurians look like in Doctor Who. Do I know that for a fact? No. I do not. Maybe whoever wrote Doctor Who and the Silurians, which I actually do know who wrote it, but I'm not going to bore you with it. Maybe they got the idea for the Doctor Who episode from a reptilian alien. I don't know. What do I think about reptilian aliens? I think they're an interesting conspiracy. I do not think they have a base on the moon. I do not think they are putting their children here on Earth and making them look human. They're star seeds to evolve. I don't think they shapeshift and are the presidents of the United States and all of the leaders throughout the world. I just think they're an interesting story that people have taken and run with. But hey, maybe you have a different opinion. If you do, let me know in the comments. And as usual, I don't have a closer for this, so I'll simply close with my eyes didn't change, did they?